Today is February 15, 2022. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting part 4 of my happiness series. This presentation focused on meaningful pleasures. My main message: happiness, success, and meaning are all interrelated or relational. If you want more information on this particular topic, I refer you to the book Happier. Author is Tal Ben-Shahar. Happiness is a highly desired emotional feeling. In fact, it's the ultimate need everyone seeks. Happiness is the ultimate motivator, and all other needs are just means to happiness, because happiness is the ultimate end. Happiness is not anything you can buy. It has to be earned by doing the right things for the right reasons. Everyone is searching for the fountain of eternal happiness, but getting happiness is elusive for most people who don't know how to earn it. People must work for their happiness in deliberate ways, through deliberate sources. Once a person decides he wants to be happy, he must engage in activities that are both meaningful and enjoyable and align with his interests and strengths. Setting interesting and meaningful goals that require a pleasurable journey for reaching them is one of the best ways to become perpetually happy. Proposition 1. There are happiness architectures, according to Ben-Shahar. In fact, the first architect is the one he believed that he was engaged in the early days. He called it the rat race. Focused on goals, but suffering from the arrival disappointment. Yes, you achieve a goal, you have success, you have some measure of enjoyment, but it passes. And then the question is, then what? Another architect is the hedonist, who's focused on pleasures, but has no long-range plans or goals and suffers from the avoidance of reality. Then there's the nihilist, who's unable to find happiness no matter what he does, and basically has stopped trying and has accepted his fate. Finally, there is the mature adult, who focuses on meaningful activities, enjoying the present. This is the person who is happier. To become happier, you must avoid the causes of unhappiness. And since there are more ways to be unhappy than happy, you must do the right things, focused on the right sources. The only way to true happiness is to have goals that are both meaningful and produces pleasure while working on them. Then the goal seeker enjoys both the journey and the success of arrival. People who are uni-focused on just the final destination, sacrificing enjoyments in the present while engaged in the drudge work to get there, are unhappy in a rat race to the finish line. While winning feels great, it just doesn't last, and soon one is thinking, what's the next goal to conquer to feel great again? People who are overindulging in pleasurable experiences without a better future to look forward to are equally unhappy, even with all their meaningless pleasures. The hedonist finds that pleasures do not necessarily bring happiness if there is no meaning to it all. Finally, there are people who are unable to find lasting happiness no matter what they do or what they have, as they are lacking in an attitude of appreciation for whatever blessings they have in their life, ungrateful for what they don't have that they so much desire. These people are the nihilist. Proposition 2. Success and happiness are interdependent. Success tends to lead to short-term happiness. Most of us are familiar with this. When we're successful, we take pleasure in that. Happiness also leads to greater effort to become more successful. Goals, however, are one sure mean or source to happiness, but they must have meaning to the individual and they must bring pleasure to the work that needs to be done to get there. People who are happy bring a positive, grateful attitude to all that they do, and thus tend to be more successful in whatever they strive to accomplish. Naturally, people who are frequently successful earn not only happiness from their success, but their successes create conditions for new pleasurable activities that offer still more happiness. Success and happiness are interdependent, and one generally brings forth the other. But success must come from self-chosen goals that are picked because the goal is based on outcomes that offer 1. Personal meaning, 2. Desirable pleasures once one arrives, and 3. Utilize one's strengths to achieve success. Proposition 3. A key source of happiness are goals leading to meaningful pleasures. To be happy, people need to find both meaning and pleasure in what they do, not one or the other, but both. The best goals lead to desirable outcomes and pleasure while doing the work. And just to remind you, happiness is the highest need and ultimate end to which all means are directed. As I said already, happiness is the ultimate human need, more important than even control or power, wealth or possessions, relationships, love, and independence and freedom. All these other needs are merely the means to the ultimate end, which is happiness. To prove that happiness is the highest order need, just ask yourself why you want anything. And ultimately, if you have to ask enough why questions, your ultimate answer will be because it makes me happier. My final message: happiness is a product of meaningful pleasures linked to goals, linked to your higher order purposes. Although happiness is the ultimate end, there can be no happiness without living a life of meaning as defined by your values. After a person has mastery over his basic survival needs, anyone can be as happy or unhappy as the next person, regardless of any disparity in wealth, fame, and power, for example. Happiness is based on finding and engaging in those activities that 1. Gives you meaning based upon your values, 2. Gives you pleasure and self-satisfaction, and 3. Aligns with your interest and strengths. Find those types of activities, devote your life to them, and you will be happier. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.